Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Friday, December 29th. Welcome to our video commentary. During the presidency of George W. Bush, the great Charles Krauthammer, and we hope that he recovers from his operation and comes back to Fox News as soon as possible, but the great Charles Krauthammer came up with something called Bush Derangement Syndrome. And what that meant is it was like a mental condition that just led people to say some of the dumbest things and to do some of the dumbest things whenever they were thinking about George W. Bush. For example, people were saying that Bush lied about Iraq. I mean, the same people who defended Bill Clinton bombing Iraq over weapons of mass destruction were saying that somehow Bush had lied about Iraq. Bush said the same thing that Bill Clinton said, John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and lots of others, but yet Bush is the only one who lied about it. So it was kind of a mental situation where people would say some stupid things just because they hated Bush. Well, something similar seems to be happening with President Trump, where there seems to be something called Trump derangement syndrome, where people are just willing to forget reality just to criticize President Trump. And I have a post coming out Saturday morning about all of this, what it seems to be happening in many cities and in many parts of the country run by the Democrat Party. The city of Chicago is a perfect example of this. The city's falling apart. The state of Illinois has all kinds of fiscal problems. The city of Chicago has all kinds of fiscal problems. You have crime. You have a total breakdown of the city. Nothing works in the city of Chicago, except that the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Emanuel, spends half of his time talking about President Trump. All he does is criticize President Trump. The city doesn't work. The crime is out of control. It's a mess. The city's a mess. But every day he's criticizing President Trump. And you're seeing this not just in Chicago. You're seeing it in California, where the Attorney General of California spends 90% of his time suing the Trump administration over this and this and this and that. You see it to some extent in New York as well. But at the same time that all of this is going on, that all of these Democrat politicians are always talking about Trump, people are leaving their states. There was a report that came out that in 2017, 450,000 people left New York, Illinois, and California. They're moving to other states. They're moving to other states. Why? Because taxes are too high, the cost of living is too high. Now, when you're talking about 450,000 people, let's assume that, let's say, 300 are adults and the other are their children. That's about 250,000 to 300,000 people who pay taxes, who contribute to your society. They're leaving your states and they're moving somewhere else. So they're taking a lot of their income, they're taking a lot of their taxes, but they're taking it somewhere else. That is what is happening in many of these cities and in many of these states. And yet, when you listen to the politicians of Illinois, New York, and California, all you're hearing is Trump. Trump is this, Trump is this, Trump is tweeting this. Now look, I understand, because I had my problems with Trump during the primaries. I can understand that sometimes Trump's personality may not be the friendliest or some of his tweets may not be the smartest. But the bottom line is that Chicago, Illinois, New York, and California have far bigger problems than Trump's tweets. And the politicians in those states, in those communities, seem to be focusing more on how much they hate Trump than in fixing many of the problems that they have. And I think this is that they're doing all of this for their political benefit. I understand that. In the case of Mayor Emanuel in Chicago, some people are speculating that he may be running for president. The same with the mayor of New York City. They're speculating that he may run in 2020. And this may be true, and politics is a factor. We're not trying to deny that. Both sides play politics. But I think in this case, this obsession with Trump is actually hurting these communities, and people are showing it by moving out. So Trump derangement syndrome may be very good for Mayor Emanuel in Chicago, politically speaking, that is. It may be good for the mayor of New York City. It may be very good for Democrats in California. But it's not doing anything to fix the problems that these communities are having. And the best evidence of it is that people are moving out. They're leaving California, they're leaving New York, and they're leaving Illinois in huge numbers. Thank you for watching. We have all of these commentaries over in YouTube. We also have them in my Twitter account and also my blog. Happy New Year if we don't chat. We'll try to do a couple more before the end of the year, but Happy New Year anyway. I hope you had a good Christmas, and we'll talk to you later. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas. Bye-bye, everybody.